Social media is more prevalent in our day-to-day lives than ever before, and I'm sure it's pretty safe to assume that your cell phone usage has gone through the roof across the course of 2020. Social media brings along a whole lot of positives, but alongside those positives, it definitely has some negatives thrown in, and those negatives are what we are going to focus on in today's video. So I'm going to break down 5 ways that people are taking deceiving photos for Instagram. And now this is by no means an attack on anyone. Everyone has the free right to post whatever the hell they want on social media, but it's just a public service announcement to you guys so you can be aware of what is going on behind the scenes. Because social media can become a very large arena for comparison, and that could be very, very damaging to your own personal health. So with that being said, I'm gonna break down step by step, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And before we hop into that, I'm gonna use myself as an example. So I wanna give you a quick overview of where I currently am sitting in terms of my physique, body weight, and everything else in between. All right guys, so now more than ever, it is very, very important that you're keeping up to date with how you are tracking along in terms of your body weight, your strength, and everything else in between, right? Just because we're in lockdown or quarantine doesn't mean we take the foot off the gas pedal. And that's why I've gone ahead and picked up a brand new scale, guys. So I've been using this for the past couple of weeks, and it has been a really, really good help. And it is definitely something that you want to consider picking up if you are looking to get to where you want to be. So pretty much, guys, this is going to track much more than just your weight, and that is the main component to why I actually went ahead and picked this up. One of the best things about this is it's actually going to track your profile. So you can actually set something up, and that is going to help you more accurately track things like body fat percentage and everything else in between. What's the verdict? 168.2. So as we can see here, it's going to track much more than just your body weight. We're going to also get body fat percentage, we're going to get bone density, we're going to get percentage of muscle mass, and we're also going to get water weight. So that's pretty damn sick. So the main component that I'm using this for is just to track the way my weight, body weight, and muscle mass shifts week to week. So opposed to being exactly accurate, what I'm more using this for is to track it week to week. So if my body fat is going down and that is what I'm trying to do, then that is absolutely perfect. So if you're looking to pick up a very good scale like this one to track your progress, then you can do so using the link in my description. And also FW Fit is going to get you 60% off on that. So check that out, guys, if you are looking to pick up a very good scale. All right, guys, so let's hop right into it. Now, with that being said, I want to let you know that these steps can also be utilized in your own personal life. So if you're going to be taking photos anyway and you want to utilize a few of these steps to take better photos and post better content, then definitely feel free. But please, for the love of God, take only a few of these steps and leave a few of them alone. Keep them out of your arsenal. So step number 1, guys, is going to be lighting. So as you can already see, it plays a very important role in whether or not your photos and videos look good or look bad. All right, guys, that is much, much better. So lighting is gonna be one of the biggest contributing factors to how the quality of your photo turns out. So for an example right here is what I would quote as definitely not ideal lighting. As you can see, nothing really stands out. You can't really see myself. I don't differentiate from the foreground to the background, and it's just not an ideal situation to be in. Now we're gonna compare this to a well-lit scenario, and you can already start to see that even just throwing in a little bit of light, your physique starts to pop out more. You can see more muscular definition, size starts to show through, even facial structure improves, and everything else in between. So this is important to keep in mind because a lot of people will go through thousands of photos, right, in a photo shoot. They'll take 1,000 photos and end up picking 2 just so they can dial down on what the perfect lighting is in that situation. So the high majority of people are going to present themselves in the most perfect way possible when posting on social media. So it's definitely not a very, very good place to compare yourself to. So instead, the only thing that you should be really comparing yourself to is who you were yesterday and what direction you're moving in. Number 2, guys, is going to be a pump. So within the fitness industry, a lot of people are going to be taking their photos majority after a workout when they've done a nice chest and shoulder workout, back workout, or anything else in between. They're going to have a lot more blood within the muscle, and as such, it's going to be more voluminous. So for an example right here, this is me first thing in the morning, just without doing absolutely anything but taking a pee. With that being said, I'm going to quickly do a whole bunch of push-ups and get some blood flowing into the chest and into the shoulders. And as you can see, it's not the biggest difference, but it is still a difference nonetheless. And that is important to keep in mind. Number 3, guys, is gonna be time of day and time of year. So as I mentioned in the previous step, time of day, a lot of people are gonna take a ton of photos after the workout. And as such, they're gonna look more jacked, more ripped, more pumped, and everything else between, sweaty and everything else. And you're comparing yourself to that when you're sitting in bed, snacking on Cheetos, probably not the best thing to do. With that being said, guys, me personally, if I take a photo first thing in the morning where I have no food within my system, I'm not bloated whatsoever, everything is cleared out, I'm just more shredded than I would be before I go to bed. When I'm bloated, you know, that's the last thing I want to do, take a photo in the mirror. If I was to compare morning to night, then it's chalk and cheese, guys. And that's something to keep in mind. People are going to be taking photos in the best kind of circumstances throughout the day. Now, on that note, there's also a time of season. So social media is a worldwide platform, and as such, you could be sitting in winter right now as I am, and you could be looking at someone who's either on holiday or going through summer. They're on a beach, they're shredded, they're jacked, they're tan to shit, and you're going, damn, I'm like a marshmallow right now. I'm bulking, I'm pale as all hell, and that is just not fun at all. So you need to keep in mind, you can't be comparing yourself to someone who's definitely not on the same page as you. Like I said before, the only thing you should be comparing yourself to is who you were yesterday and where you're moving to today. Numero 4, guys, is going to be basic editing. So this is editing that is, I would say, justified. What I am referring to though is post editing. So this is things like contrast, saturation, sharpness, structure, and everything else in between. It is adjusting the shadows, highlights, structure, sharpness, saturation, and a few other things just to make the picture stand out, pop more. And I would say that this is a justified kind of editing, as opposed to something else, which we'll jump into on step number 5. But for an example, guys, here is a comparison between an completely unedited photo from a camera or an iPhone and then something that I have thrown an edit on. As you can see, it's not a massive difference, but it's a difference nonetheless. And this is things that are going on behind the scenes that you need to keep an eye on. And I guarantee you 99% of people will put some sort of editing on their photos, whether that be just to up the contrast, up the saturation, decrease the shadows, or anything else in between. And if you want me to go through how I would edit my photos, I would be more than happy to do that. It's a very, very quick and easy process. I really don't do too much. But if that is something you want to see, then I will jump on that ASAP. Let me know down in the comments. Step number 5, guys, is going to be absolute douchery. All right, this is just douchery at the highest degree, punishable by permanent, I don't know, something, whatever douches go. They go on trash, don't they? So anyway, with that being said, this is probably one of the worst things you could do. I just have absolutely no love for this. So this is adapting the way that you look completely, all right? It's taking your body and it's extending it, it's decreasing your waist, it's increasing the size of your shoulders, it's decreasing the size of your feet, I don't know, it's doing something. It's just taking a photo and making it something completely different. It's just not justified. And as you can tell, I have a real pet peeve for this, and it's something that you need to be taking into account because people will be editing their photos within Photoshop. They'll be using a blur tool. It's very, very easy. I've never really done it, but I can imagine, like, I'm gonna go into Photoshop right now and I'll show you a before and after. I can imagine it's probably very, very easy, and it's something to look out for because people will be doing this. It's a comparison game, and people wanna look their absolute best, so they'll go to extremes in order to look their absolute best, and it's just something to definitely keep in mind. So with that being said, guys, if you are someone who's doing step number 5, please, just stop, just post yourself. You're good enough, right? You're good enough. You don't need to adapt the way you look or anything else in between. And if you're someone who is completely none the wiser to these things going on behind the scenes, I hope you did learn something and are now present to what is going on in social media. So a takeaway for this, guys, is just to be present of the things that go on. Social media is a perfect reflection of someone's lives. They don't post the bad, at least the high majority of people don't post the bad. So keep that in mind, guys. And I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on this and commenting down below anything you'd want to see from me. I'll get on that ASAP. And that is all, guys. Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Drink your water, stay corona free, and have a good time.